We're mostly a dev collective, and so like all the skills here, kind of like the main on the left, like the technical ones that we have already and that we're always like looking for more of. And the idea with dOrg is like you come in with a specialty, you know, whether it's like on the technical side or the non-technical side, and you come in with that specialty, and it's a place where you can like immediately start contributing to actual projects using your specialty and get paid for doing so and earn ownership in the DAO for doing so. But then you're also around like these experts in these other fields. And so through working with them, you can upskill in these other areas. And so what we've seen a lot is like someone, let's say, is working full-time in Web2, and they're interested in crypto, but they're not really quite ready to make the leap. And so what we'll see is like they'll make dOrg their like nights and weekends project. So they'll make an activation proposal, they'll join, and they'll be like, okay, I can put like 5 hours a week into like one of these dOrg projects and kind of like get my hands dirty with some of the Web3 stack, even though I'm more on the Web2 stack. And then gradually they'll feel more confident. They'll start working with like the Web3 integration side, maybe some Solidity, or like Web3 DevOps. And then, yeah, a lot of times like quit their job and just start doing crypto full time. So that's the way we're kind of like hacking into the Web2 world. But a lot of people, yeah, people come in at all different like points in their career. So it's kind of like you enter wherever you're at, and then the idea is that you come in and you'll get much better at whatever it is you're like an expert in, and then you can get good at other areas as well. And then you can stay around, hang out, work a lot sometimes, not work at all sometimes, stay for years, stay for a couple months. It's meant to be entirely flexible, kind of purpose built for like a remote, like crypto native, remote native, like work environment.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add that we're actually starting to see more and more people come to dOrg and then quit their day jobs and work for a DAO full time. So that's a very, very exciting thing to see.
Yeah, when we like were getting started in early 2019, it was like this crazy idea of like working for a DAO, like having our like entire salaries like from a DAO. And then for more and more and more people, especially as you can see with like DAO Rush Week, that's becoming a normal thing, which is amazing, because you could transparently see like where all the money comes from, how much every person is getting paid. You have inputs on that. You can raise a flag if you kind of disagree with something that's going on. And we just think that's how everything should work, but more efficiently. It's pretty rough around the edges right now if you've ever used DAO software. So like what keeps a lot of us motivated is like watching this stack get better, because like all of Web3, it's pretty clunky, like paying gas fees and all this stuff, and DAOs as a sub category there are like especially difficult to deal with, but it's way easier to deal with than like traditional like payment services and corporate governance in other ways. So it's like interesting to see what elements are like super fluid, like the way we can like instantly, dynamically like allocate like ownership rights, whereas like in the corporate world that takes like lawyers and paperwork. So some things are like massively improved, but then other things like automating like a monthly payment are actually quite difficult. And we'll highlight like a couple areas here that, yeah, like we think are relevant. So basically like Jordan mentioned earlier, like we think of dOrg as like also a launch pad for projects that our members want to work on. So if you have like a pet project idea or something you've been doing on the side, like dOrg is a place where you can have like a network of professionals that can help you make it a reality. And dOrg could like effectively give like initial grant funding and then also like developer support to like start to get a project off the ground. And then that could eventually become its own autonomous project with its own DAO or with its own corporation that dOrg is just a service provider of. And that's basically what happened with Web3 API. And we have a couple other projects in the works that like started out as like pet projects of particular members, and now they're like running towards it being their own like self-sustaining project. We also try to like bake in other benefits. Like we have an arrangement with like a crypto tax accounting service called like Polygon Advisory Services, and they offer discounted like tax prep for any dOrg members, like for their personal taxes. And obviously they're experts on like how DAOs and DeFi work, so it makes it like a lower overhead for us. And we're trying to come up with more benefit ideas all the time. Like the idea is that, working at a DAO is going to be like more attractive than working at big tech is the ultimate goal, but with, all the other benefits of DAOs. And then like, yeah, more practically and like currently we have the income that we're earning from building. So, you make the proposals, get paid based on like kind of the effort you put in relative to other people at every like milestone checkpoint, like every 2 or 3 weeks for like a given project. And then there's also people who focus partially or entirely on sourcing. So having a network of projects that they're on good terms with, and then getting a statement of work together and getting a team together to go and then execute on that project, and then making sure the project's going well. And so that's the incentive we have for the projects to keep coming in and going well. And we also have commissions for sourcing builders. So like any member can kind of like bring a friend of theirs in, or like look at our talent pipeline and see someone they like and then reach out to them. And then if you are the one who kind of like stewards someone into the DAO, then you also can earn a commission as that person earns. The DAO will like give you a bonus for bringing someone in who ended up being like valuable to the collective. And a really like exciting newer element of our finances is airdrops. So we now have arrangements with almost every client like that we sign, where in addition to paying us in stable coins for the actual like dev time we're putting in at like certain checkpoints, they'll also send us their native token in like a pre-agreed upon denomination. So let's say we say, okay, you're going to give us 1,000 XYZ tokens like 6 weeks from now and 12 weeks from now. And also along the way, you'll be paying us in stablecoin. And this way, we have an incentive to like make the value of the token go up. So to like work really hard, make sure we're not missing any loose ends, and that everything goes really well. Because yeah, if that token like 5x is in value by the time we get our airdrop, then we see that upside, or the individual builders on that project see that upside. And then also a fraction of the airdrop also gets airdropped to all of the dOrg rep holders in like some proportion to how much rep they have. So this is like a baked in incentive to do work through the DAO, because you're getting a larger share of like the future airdrops that we anticipate. So it's kind of like an extra incentive, and it makes us all like share in success. As one team does really well, the other teams see like a little bit of that passively. And this is like a more specific breakdown of everything I just talked about. So someone pays for some work, 80% of it is going to like the builder squad that gets to decide amongst themselves how they're going to divide it up. And we have like all these like spreadsheets to make this easy. And then 10% is for the person or persons who sourced the project. And that has a couple elements to it that I went over, like the statement of work, the relationship, getting the team together, invoicing the client, like all those like administrative, salesy steps. And we also have a cut that the DAO keeps in the DAO reserve, which funds these like spin out ventures or these benefits that we're talking about, or operational tasks like improving how we operate. And so we have a process for that where like anyone in the DAO, it's called a DSP, a dOrg spending proposal. That's how we manage this treasury collectively. And so we try to make the process for joining really simple and keeping the bar relatively low, but having a filter in place so that we kind of only accept people who kind of get what we're doing and that are willing to go through the steps of like making a proposal to the DAO, building something relevant to what we're working on. And then once you do that and you make the proposal, if it passes, like the DAO will like pay you a little bit for like the couple hours spent like on the project, and you get kind of like your first rep. You're officially like a member of the DAO. And then from there, you're in our private Discord, and you can see the kind of like funnel of all the different projects coming in, and you can jump onto like one of the ongoing projects or one of the new projects. And then there's like various ways to kind of like build better like trust and reputation within that, like, doing well on a project, and then, people want to work with you on other projects. So this whole dynamic, like once you join, but it's more like a work club than getting a job. Like you have no guarantee of like an income or a certain amount of work once you join. you're also welcome to apply, join, and not do anything for a month, and then a month later you start freeing up, and you start seeing like how you can contribute. But this is just this like barrier we put up between like the outside world and the DAO. And so we try to simplify that into like a simple process where it's just like a mini hackathon. Like you're supposed to spend not more than a day working on something you think is relevant in your domain of expertise, and submit that to the DAO, and the DAO can take a look and then decide. And so we have like here, you'll see like instructions and then examples of past submissions. And there's always like a couple pending submissions, like kind of in the DAO's queue that you can check out. I think that's all we have. So thanks. And we can take questions. People can like speak their mind. We could just have a discussion.